Let me ask you something before we begin. When did you last feel truly alive, not just breathing, not just going through your routine, but alive? Like your heart had a reason to beat. Think about it. Because Maya had forgotten that feeling completely. Maya was a nurse. She worked the night shift at a government hospital. 12 hours on her feet, every single night. She checked temperatures. She changed dressings. She carried bedpans. She watched people cry. She watched people die. And she felt nothing. Not anymore. She used to care deeply. Years ago, when she first became a nurse, she would hold patients' hands. She would remember their names. She would pray for them after her shift ended. But that was a long time ago. Now she just wanted to survive the night and go home. One Tuesday, around 2 a.m., a new patient was brought into Ward 7. An old man, frail, alone, no family, no visitors. Just a small cloth bag by his side. His name on the chart read Thomas, age 79. Maya did her checks quickly. She barely looked at his face. BP is fine. Meds at 6 a.m., she told her junior, and walked away. But then Thomas spoke. His voice was weak, almost a whisper. "Nurse, do you like your job?" Maya stopped. She turned around slowly. Nobody ever asked her that. "I'm fine," she said flatly. "Get some rest." Thomas smiled, a tired, gentle smile. "That's not what I asked." Maya stared at him for a moment. Then she pulled up a chair. She didn't know why. She hadn't done that in years. "Not anymore," she said quietly. "I used to." Thomas nodded like he already knew. "What changed?" he asked. Maya laughed, a short, bitter laugh. "Everything. People don't even say thank you. They complain, they shout. Half of them leave before they get better, and the ones who don't," she stopped. "The ones who don't leave, they die," Thomas said softly. Maya looked away. "Yes," she whispered. Silence filled the room. Then Thomas slowly reached into his cloth bag. He pulled out a small, worn notebook. He handed it to Maya. "Open it," he said. "Any page." Maya hesitated. Then she opened it. The pages were filled with names, hundreds of them, written in small, neat handwriting. "What is this?" she asked. "Every patient I ever helped," Thomas said. Maya looked up. "You were a doctor, no?" He shook his head. "I was a hospital janitor. For 44 years." Maya blinked. "A janitor. I mopped floors," Thomas said simply. "I emptied bins. I cleaned wards." He paused to catch his breath. "But every time I cleaned a room, I talked to the patient inside. I learned their name. I asked them one question." "What question?" Maya asked. Thomas looked at her. "What are you looking forward to when you get home?" Maya felt something stir in her chest. Something she hadn't felt in a long time. "You'd be amazed," Thomas said softly. "A man once told me he just wanted to eat his wife's cooking again. A young girl said she wanted to finish her painting. One old woman, she just wanted to see her dog." He smiled. "Small things. But they lit up when they talked about them, and I believe." He paused. "I believe some of them held on a little longer because of that question." Maya stared at the notebook. All those names, all those people, a janitor, with a mop and a question, changing lives every day. "Why did you write their names down?" she asked. Thomas was quiet for a moment. "Because they mattered," he said. "Even if no one else remembered them, I did." Maya's throat tightened. She looked at the names again, page after page. Then she turned to the very first name in the notebook. Rena, age 7. Wanted to go back to school. Her voice cracked. "Who was Rena?" Thomas closed his eyes with a soft smile. "The first child I ever talked to. My very first week. She was so scared, crying every night." He took a slow breath. "I asked her my question. She said she wanted to go back and show her teacher a drawing she'd made." He opened his eyes. "She left the hospital 2 weeks later, healthy, smiling. She hugged me at the door." A tear slid down Maya's cheek. She didn't stop it. She didn't even notice it at first. She hadn't cried in 3 years. Thomas looked at her gently. "You didn't lose your care, Maya," he said. She looked up sharply. He had remembered her name from the badge. "You just forgot why you started." The words hit her like a wave. She sat there, in that quiet ward at 2 a.m., and something inside her cracked open. She remembered the day she chose nursing. She was 16. Her younger brother was sick. A nurse had stayed late just to sit with him, just to make him laugh. Maya had decided that night, "I want to be that person for someone." When had she stopped being that person? She looked at Thomas. "Can I borrow a page?" she asked quietly. He smiled and tore one out carefully. That night, Maya walked into every room on her ward. She asked each patient one question. "What are you looking forward to when you get home?" A man said he wanted to watch the cricket match. A woman said she wanted to braid her daughter's hair. A teenage boy said he wanted to eat an entire pizza by himself. Maya laughed at that one. Really laughed. By 5 a.m., she had a list of 14 names. And she felt something she had not felt in years. She felt like she mattered. The next evening, she came back for her shift. She went straight to Ward 7, but the bed was empty. She grabbed the chart from the nurse's station. Thomas discharged. 11 a.m. She stood there for a moment. Then she smiled. She walked to her locker and pulled out a fresh notebook. On the first page, she wrote one name, Thomas, age 79. Reminded me who I am. Here's what this story teaches us. You don't need a big title to change lives. You don't need money or power or fame. You just need to see people. Ask them one real question and remember their name. Your work is not just your job. It is the lives you touch while doing it. So today, ask yourself this. Who have you seen lately really seen? Because that answer might change everything. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to remember their purpose today. And tell us in the comments, what are you looking forward to? We'd love to know.